So we really want to continue to grow a first-rate leading center that has an international reputation. I think it already does have an international reputation, but we want to continue to recruit new doctors and expand our research efforts. And we want a unique center in which there's a close marriage between research on multiple levels and the care that we provide our patients. And I have to say that we've been very lucky and have made a lot of strides in the last 4 years. And I've been very fortunate to be able to recruit a wonderful team of healthcare providers and researchers that I'm quite proud of. So in the basic research arena, both Dr. Irani and I have laboratories in which we study basic mechanisms of multiple sclerosis. We do this in the mouse model in which we could simulate a multiple sclerosis-like disease, and then we try to dissect out the type of inflammation that causes the damage. We have graduate students, we have postdoctoral fellows, and we are trying to, in addition to make strides, to support and educate the next generation of researchers who will continue to carry the torch. And I actually think that's perhaps the most important thing we do in terms of our research efforts. That we have teamed up with Dr. Geiger, who's a neuroscientist who we recruited from Rochester, where I was formerly located, and he is an expert in nerve fibers and how they can regrow. And so we're very interested in working with him, and we already have a number of projects underway and have funding in that arena. So we are trying to address the disease on multiple fronts. First of all, to stop the damage, but we're also looking forward to how could we repair damage that's been done. And we have a grant from the National Multiple Sclerosis Society to establish a collaborative research center here. We're one of, I think, 10 of these collaborative research centers in the world, and this allows us to try to bring in investigators from many different disciplines to concentrate their efforts on multiple sclerosis. So we've engaged biochemists, we've engaged people who are in pharmacology or drug development, people who are experts in the vasculature, all to work with us and to encourage new ideas and new efforts. And through the Collaborative Research Center, we have a pilot grant program where we've actually given some money to jumpstart research among some of our colleagues and encourage them to think about MS and novel ways of approaching it. And then another arm of our effort involves the clinical trial work. And that is being spearheaded by Dr. Braley, who spoke earlier this morning. Dr. Braley was a clinical fellow who did her residency at the University of Michigan and then did a fellowship under my and Dr. Irani's mentorship. And now she is joining the faculty as a professor. And we're very happy that she's decided to remain here. She already is becoming a force in the clinical trial world, and we have a number of drugs under investigation that she mentioned, and more are coming. And as part of the clinical trial effort, we have recruited 2 clinical trial coordinators who are specialists in organizing the trials and explaining the details of the trials to patients. And I think that's going very well. And actually, Judy Rothoff is in the audience. She's one of our trial coordinators. And Judy, could you stand up so everyone could see you? She's doing a wonderful job, and also Stacy Anderson has joined the team, and we hope to keep building. We're trying to recruit, we're right now in the throes of trying to recruit yet another doctor to help us to see patients, because we just don't have enough clinic slots to see patients as quickly as we would like, and we're trying to find another doctor who would also help with the clinical trial effort and bridge some of the things we're doing in the lab to the clinic, and I'm hoping that's going to come to fruition shortly. So this is just an outline of everything that's being done. We have research going on neuroinflammation. That means inflammation in the nervous system that causes the damage in MS. In addition to working with mice and trying to understand this at a very basic level, we collect samples from MS patients that I mentioned earlier, and we're trying to figure out what kind of toxic products are produced by the cells that go to the central nervous system, and we have very exciting results that actually aren't yet published. I hope that they're going to lead to the development of new blood tests that help us better diagnose and follow patients with multiple sclerosis, and maybe tell us what drugs are going to be useful in individuals. We also have this big effort going on in terms of stimulating new myelin growth and nerve growth, and Dr. Geiger's an important part of that. And then these clinical studies of the samples from MS patients. Dr. Braley's doing an epidemiological study using a database in the VA system to try to determine, for example, if it's true that patients are more likely to have a relapse if they undergo surgery or anesthesia. That's been thought to be true by many doctors, but it's never been proven, and she's going to try to figure that out definitively. And we're doing a lot of work with MRIs so that we could see if changes in the blood cells correlate with new lesion development, so that we could maybe one day use a blood test as opposed to an expensive imaging test to know if someone has ongoing damage. And then Dr. Braley told you about these clinical trials. I think we're just at the very tip of the iceberg. And of course, patient care is very important to us. And we've been very fortunate. Dr. Irani, who we recruited from Hopkins, is a wonderful clinician. I think Dr. Braley really has become incredibly well skilled. And we have a wonderful nurse, Kathy Bennett, who keeps us all in line and really helps us manage our patients. And Kathy, could you stand up, please? And then I just wanted to introduce some young people, some young researchers in our laboratories, and maybe have them just tell you a few words about what they're doing so you can get a sense of the excitement and that's going on. And I see Kevin in the audience. Do you want to come up to the stage? Oh, and Steve, oh yeah, we have three. So Steve and Josh, why don't you come down? Oh, and Heather, come on down. Of course. Anyone else here from the lab? So these are some of the bright new emerging stars in MS research. Heather is a graduate student in the immunology program. Stephen is a postdoctoral fellow, so he's gotten his PhD recently. Heather is working towards her PhD. And we recruited him he came to us from Ireland to work here. Josh is a graduate student also in the immunology program. And Kevin just came from California to work with us. So I know it's getting late and we're close to the clinical roundtable, but I wanted to introduce them, and maybe they could tell you very shortly a little bit about what they're doing.